Right, we right back at you with the greatest players in NBA history list. We are now down to number 44 on the list of the greatest players of all time. And at number 44, we on none other than Steve Nash. Steve Nash, first and foremost, whether you like it or you don't, stamped his place in NBA history by being a league MVP 2 seasons in a row. Now, I had some debate on whether or not he should have got both of those back in the day when I was watching him play, but make no mistake about it, Steve Nash was one of the greats that's ever played the game. I remember him in Dallas when he was doing his thing, and he wasn't quite a star yet, playing with Dirk Nowitzki and Finley. He was making noise then. You could see his heart, his tenacity on the court. But when he got to Phoenix, that's when he really blossomed in Mike D'Antoni's system with the Matrix and Stoudemire. He did his thing out there, and they helped facilitate for him 2 league MVPs in that offense where they were getting the shots up very, very quickly in Mike D'Antoni's system. Steve Nash was the type of guy who was super efficient. He could hit a jump shot from anywhere on the floor. Couldn't foul him. One of the best free throw shooters in league history. Could shoot the 3, shoot the mid-range, finish around the basket with either hand. This guy is a member of the 50-40-90 club, and he's a member in spectacular fashion. Its most decorated member of the 50-40-90 club, as he's done it 4 times in his career, averaging 50% from the field, 40 from 3, and 90 from the free throw line. He was a 7-time All-NBA stud. Steve Nash, one of the great floor generals the game has ever seen. If you're going to give a knock to him, it would probably have to be that he didn't have a lot on the defensive end. He was mostly offense. And even though he was very efficient with his shooting, he wasn't a big-time scorer. His thing was facilitating. And in the biggest of moments, he didn't quite lead his team as a floor general to that apex that people wanted to see. He wasn't able to get over the San Antonios and the LAs and the Dallases, for that matter, to get to that NBA championship. But he definitely is cemented on my list at number 44. At number 43, none other than the point guard, as they call him, Chris Paul. Chris Paul, like Steve Nash, a consummate floor general, still playing in the league today. This man has been an All-NBA talent 11 times over in his NBA career. He also has been 9 times on the defensive All-NBA squad. Chris Paul is a guy that is a legend in the league, and in his first several stops in the league, it was like wherever he went, he turned things around. No matter who was on the team, if you had him as floor general, he did his thing, whether it was in New Orleans, of course, the Clippers. He had many battles with Blake Griffin and those guys. But even when he was in OKC, he kind of got them moving in the direction to set up what you see now in OKC. When he was in Houston, him and James Harden, when people didn't think 2 point guards could play together, he did that. He was able to play off the ball, yet still be floor general at times to let James do his thing, but also play off so James could be the great point guard he was. Chris Paul also went to Phoenix, and unlike Steve Nash, led him to the NBA Finals. Spectacular. Back then, getting the Phoenix Suns to the finals when he did, people wasn't quite sure that was going to happen. That Phoenix Suns team with Devin Booker and those guys, they had a hard time making it to the playoffs at certain times during Devin Booker's stint before Chris Paul arrived. He had them playing D, had them playing together, and had them in the finals. Chris Paul, one of the all-time greats, at number 43. Now at number 42 is none other than Clyde the Glide Drexler. Drexler at 6'7" at the 2 guard during the 80s and 90s was kind of the Jordan of the Western Conference, if you will. He was known as Clyde the Glide because of his athletic ability, but he was a true leader too on the basketball court. You're talking about a guy that led the Portland Trailblazers as their one option to the finals twice. Once against the Bulls and once against the Pistons. So he was legit in his own right. A 5-time All-NBA stud, 10-time All-Star. But when he got with Akeem Olajuwon and was able to be a part of a 1-2 punch, he became a champion, which really solidified Clyde Drexler as one of the all-time greats. Clyde was a decent defender, but more known for his offense, more known for what he could do getting to the cup and pushing the pace. He was a one-man fast break when he got the ball off the rebound and pushed it. And then at number 41 on my list, Willis Reed. Willis Reed at 6'9", some would say was an undersized center, but he played like a big dog for sure. In his heyday, he was good for about 20 and 13 boards at 50% shooting. He played with Clyde Frazier and is part of the two-man punch that brought New York their titles in the 70s. Now, Willis didn't quite make as many All-NBA teams as Frazier, only making it to about 5, but he was a league MVP and the finals MVP in both of the championships. Everybody remembers the infamous Willis Reed coming out the tunnel. If you do any research and you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. It was a monumental moment in NBA history. Willis Reed is a champion, a leader, and one of the great all-time centers. In my opinion, probably the second greatest Knick of all time. And I'll get to who was the best in another video. Holla at y'all. All right, that's all the time I got. Y'all know what it is, and you know who you looking for. J Heat Sports Media. And I'm coming at y'all with that fire, as always. Make sure you subscribe, and you know where to find me. YouTube, Instagram, X, and TikTok.